Welcome to the Matt and Rob Talk About podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Matt and Rob Talk About podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Matt, and with me today is
Rob. Nailed that.
Yeah, again, nailed that. We're getting better. I think it's at some point we're gonna do the intro right, I think.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, today we're talking about the F1 calendar because there is no race. There was no race this weekend, so the past weekend. So to fill a bit of time, we're going to talk about the calendar and the announcements.
It's been a sad weekend. It's been a sad weekend.
It was, right? A very long weekend.
Barely shaved. Didn't go out the house. I didn't know what to do with myself. Right? Yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just nothing on TV. It's not like Netflix has anything to offer these days. So
no, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So just had to
but like
wait
you
for
said,
if you could speed up time, you would have speed up time. But
yeah, I totally would have been fine if they did another race this weekend.
This lazy drivers, they don't want to drive like every weekend.
I know, right? Yeah. I just don't understand it. Like, you get paid millions, literally millions.
And
the least you can do, right?
It's crazy.
Give us entertainment on a Sunday, and Saturday, obviously. But yeah.
Cool then. So yeah, we had some announcements in this little break with new tracks for this season. 3 new tracks, I think it was.
Yeah.
The Nürburgring. Was it? I think it was. Yeah. Let me confirm. I have a little. Yeah, it was Nürburgring, Portimao, and Imola for 3 more races this season. So that was quite exciting. 3 very interesting tracks. What do you think?
I think it's great. Like, I feel like they should do this every year. Not Corona and not the whole, pandemic type thing, but like announce races late, keep people, guessing. Obviously, from an organizational standpoint, it's pretty annoying and pretty difficult to do. But I think it's awesome, right? Like we get tracks that we haven't seen either for like really long, like, the Nürburgring. Or we get tracks that we've never seen, that like F1 has never been to and people never raced that. So yeah, I think for the fans, I think it's going to be quite interesting. And I think it's going to be challenging for the teams because usually you have an idea and you'll build your car for the season and this track will be strong, we won't be strong. If you don't know the tracks...
You don't have any data, you don't have nothing, so...
Right.
That's a good thing for like lower class teams to just be on a bit of it's like the rain a bit, it puts everyone on the kind of a equal step when you come to the weekend, so that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
I think the driver were quite excited. I think I've even seen like George Russell and like a few of them like were like super excited about all these different tracks. So it doesn't look like they're very scared about like coming on with a new track they never raced at. So that's cool. No one is complaining, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something that always fascinated me anyway. It's like, usually when you join F1, you'll have racing experience, but you've never usually raced in an F1 car. So, your first race is still like getting used to these kind of things and stuff like that. And like, you've sometimes never raced on tracks before, on certain tracks. So, everyone that races in F1 has been through the situation before where they don't know the track. At least now they know their cars and know, what they can do and everything like that. So... Yeah,
I guess once you're used to the car, I guess it's easier to just go for it and you know what the car can do in a new track. I guess that's cool too, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Out of all the tracks that we should go through them. So
let's go through them, yeah.
The first 3 races we've got behind us now. The first 2 were in Austria. One was the Austrian Grand Prix, and then the Styrian Grand Prix. Basically exactly the same track, with different results, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And then the third one was the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Absolutely.
Hungarian. Also, great race. And then the next 2 are again at the same track, similar to Austria.
Yeah.
What do you think? What are you expecting? What are your hopes for those races?
I'd say I think I mentioned that last week, but I would say I think the best thing we can hope for is weather to come into play. I think if we get a sunny first weekend and a rainy second, or some mid condition any time, I think it would be cool just to make it a bit different. I think if you have 2 dry weekends, I think it's going to be tricky to mix things up. I think just because Mercedes is so strong there, And hopefully
Yeah.
Red Bull comes back from last week and just figures the what was wrong and then just come back stronger. Because I think last year was a very, very cool race with the fight between Leclerc, Vettel hitting Verstappen. It was just an amazing race. So
Yeah.
hopefully
Yeah, that was like towards the end that Vettel drove into.
it was
Verstappen.
just a crazy race. So
Yeah.
a crazy move on the outside by like Leclerc on Verstappen. It was just a crazy race. Like overall, I think if we can get like some cool overtaking and some close battles, that would be great. And hopefully, if we can get mixed conditions, Mercedes won't just take away like all the suspense
Yeah.
out of the weekend. So that's what
again,
that's what
I
I
think-
hope.
Yeah, again, I think with the first 3 races of the season, it was pretty expected that Mercedes were going to do fairly well, considering how they've done last year and everything like that. So yeah, I think for anyone to challenge them, you need really mixed conditions. I don't know if Racing Point are getting any more out of the car than they already have done. They are doing a very good job,
It's
Yeah. but I don't know. Like you said, I totally agree. If it's sort of dry conditions, Mercedes 1 and 2, I'd imagine. And then, but behind there, I think is quite interesting. And like you said, last year we saw some amazing overtakes and some really like close racing, even from both of the Mercedes. Bottas was a Hamilton.
Yeah, it was a great battle.
there's some-
I forgot about
just-
that. That was true.
Yeah, all around. So hopefully there's more sort of in the midfield, action sort of going on with Red Bull, Racing Point, McLaren,
Yeah.
Ferrari.
It should be very exciting. Yeah, I mean, Ferrari
Maybe.
is in the midfield, so now there's one more team in the
Yeah.
midfield to
Exactly,
play and
yeah,
have
yeah.
battles with. So that should be exciting for sure. Yeah, McLaren, if they can fight with a bit more with Racing Point, that would be great. Renault maybe
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we have
Ricciardo
some.
did very well, so yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, the weather rainy weather would be great.
I mean, if the UK
and-
doesn't deliver on bad weather, what's happening? I mean, come on.
Right. I'm in the UK right now, as many people know. And the weather is lovely, a British summer. Today we had 3 types of sort of things. Very windy, then really like fine misty rain. That's sort of like someone's taken like a spray bottle and just
Yeah.
spraying water in your face. That kind of rain, lovely, and then super sunny as well. So today we had both. Would
Even
have been a
that,
great
that
weekend
would be good
for the
like
race.
that. Just a bit of
Yeah.
rain, wind. That's cool too. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need a full wet race, even though that's great too. But yeah, I'm hoping, especially. I mean, I think it's kind of an interesting move to bring the race to Silverstone twice. I think it's good because it's a great venue.
Yeah.
But in terms of weather, 2 weekends in a row aren't going to be sunny. That's just no chance.
It would be like the chances are very low, and if it happens, that would be very unexpected. But
Exactly. So he's definitely hoping for some rainy weathers over the next couple of weeks.
yes,
Ideally just on Sunday, just a
I think-
couple of hours or something.
I think qualifying under the rain is not that. I mean, yeah, sure, it mixes things up, but it's not that. I mean, if I prefer like a red race, and like Hungary would have been even more enjoyable if it was the race that was wet and not the. Well, no, was it Hungary? Yeah, it was Hungary.
Yeah, Hungary was looking like it might rain every 10
Yeah.
minutes and then it just never did, unfortunately. Yeah. I guess, moving forwards from Silverstone, what race are you looking forward to the most? Like out of the next couple that are coming up, or even
I
Silverstone?
think like after Silverstone we have Spain. It's always like a cool track. I like it. Nothing crazy, we know. Spa is always like one of my favorite tracks in the world. It's Spa, definitely. It's probably one of the
Spa's
best
great.
tracks out there. So it should be an exciting race. I think last year Ferrari was still like with a big engine. So we'll see what's it's really much like a
Big engine.
like a Spa and then Monza just after. It's going to be 2 very important tracks to see where Ferrari is at, if they gain anything back on last year. And we'll see which manufacturer is on top speed-wise, I guess. That's 2, I guess, cool tracks. But then I think the new tracks will be exciting. When we get to Mugello, that's going to be very exciting. Because there's going to be so much to learn, like from the team, from the drivers. I think they're going to do a lot of sim before, but even I think when you get to a new track, it's the sensation you have to, the first free practice is going to be interesting.
Yeah, there's only so much simulation you can do, and like nowadays you've got very very sophisticated sort of setups where you can suspend the car in like 3D space and you can feel elevation and other changes like that. But it's always different when you're on the real track with real conditions and things like that. You were actually telling me that I mean it's even in the name that track is Ferrari's testing ground.
They test there too, yeah.
Or they test there, obviously next to their home Grand Prix in Monza. Do you expect them to have an advantage?
I think they're struggling so much this year. I don't think that one particular track is going to be better. I think they don't develop the track for this, like the car for this track, I think, because it was not on the calendar. So it was not like a plan to have a car that was good on this track. So I don't even know if I don't think Vettel ever drove there. I mean, maybe, but I think, maybe it was before.
I think he has done, but not obviously never in a race. So.
Maybe some other cars. I don't know. So I think definitely Leclerc. I don't think he ever drove there. So I don't think they're gonna have a huge advantage. I think maybe the team has some way of getting more data. So that's maybe the only way they could have an advantage. But apart from that, I think they're all pretty much gonna be at the same level, I would say.
Yeah. I think sadly I have to agree with you. If they had like a very competitive car like Mercedes have right now, then I think knowing the track and like sort of having tested there plenty of times, I think they have an advantage. But the way they are now, probably not. They might know a bit more about certain strategies and things like that, and like tire wear. Because some tracks favor like front tires or rear tires and things like that, and you have certain things to look out for. But I think within the first couple of sessions that they have there, the free practices, the teams are sort of going to get clued in and going to figure out the small advantages that they might have. I'm looking forward to Spa. I always like Spa. I don't know
Spa
why.
is awesome. Yeah,
it's just great. Yeah.
Endurance races at Spa, like F1 is great, but endurance races at Spa is just it's awesome too. I really love like the 12-hour Spa and stuff. It's so good. Like the track is so like magical with the trees. It's like the middle of the forest. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Oh, just yeah. I mean, from a purely just watching perspective.
Oh yeah.
Very great track, and like for the drivers, I think from what I've heard, like the drivers love that track too. Like I don't think I've ever heard anyone complain about it or it being too boring or anything like that. Would you have heard of some more sort of recent additions to the race calendars and some other? Yeah, I think my favorite out of all the ones that were announced is the Nürburgring.
Makes sense.
We're back.
I guess it wouldn't have been Sochi, I would imagine.
No, weirdly enough, it wasn't. No, I mean it was close call.
Close call.
No, the Nürburgring in Germany. Finally.
It's such a mythic track. I mean, it's just the Nürburgring. Come on, I mean, like everyone that knows a tiny bit about racing knows this name. It's such a famous name.
Yeah. It's even like it's places where a lot of manufacturers, like car manufacturers, like Ford and other, that have like little hot hatchbacks and stuff like that. If they want to have a sporty version, usually that's where they go and test it. And
and you need your time. Like you need the time on the. It's not the Grand Prix track. It's the Nordschleife.
It's slightly different. It's slightly different, but like
there's a little part that goes to the Grand Prix track. There's the beginning. It's there. So
yeah. And obviously, like you just said or hinted on, the Nordschleife and the Nürburgring is slightly different. The Nordschleife is
slightly
different. Yeah, the Nordschleife is an insanely long race course through forests with extremely weird corners. Like one,
it's banking, it's elevation changes.
80 degrees.
There's no space. I mean, if you go out, there's the barriers right there. It's not like you have gravel and whatever. No. If you go out, you hit and it hurts.
And it's famously the track where Niki Lauda had his horrific accident back in the day when he sort of protested against driving on there because it was mixed conditions, the conditions that we're looking for. It's actually raining. But because of safety reasons, F1 doesn't race on that track anymore, which is absolutely fair enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
absolutely crazy. You can, however, if you're listening, or you, Matt, want to drive on there and race on there, you can just drive there and just do a lap of the Nürburgring. That is,
Yeah, you
You're
can. Oh yeah,
allowed.
you can take your car. You can take like you can just
Yeah.
have an experience with in like a race car, I guess, or like a rental car too, which could be
The rental,
exciting.
rental car is a good idea. I've not thought
They
of
they
that.
have like I think BMW and stuff like that have like some like you can all like be on the
Experiences, yeah.
passenger side or you can drive and like have a driver like tell you what to do. Which
I was
could
just
be
thinking you
exciting
could just
too.
go to like a rental car company like Enterprise and try and get the best car.
Yeah,
you can.
that's not gonna work. I think that's gonna be insurance wise gonna be tricky
Not
to
sure.
explain.
But yeah. So what happened to you? Well,
I was on
got
the
on
road.
the gas
It was a
too
very
soon.
weird
Yeah.
road.
Got on the gas too soon, and then was a bit on the grass, bit on the road. I just spun, and then
You can check
Had a good lap time,
You
though.
can watch the clip on YouTube.
yeah. You can watch me on YouTube. That would be great. Yeah, but that's I think the track I'm looking forward to the most. It's not till October, unfortunately. So it is.
But
a
I mean,
little bit-
that's good for weather because if we get the 2007 weather, like that's one race I remember until today. Like it marked me when I was young, and I was like,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Like everyone just like was sliding out of the track, like Hamilton. It didn't matter. Like you were the best or
Yeah.
the worst. You just like everyone was sliding out.
There
and-
is. I think it's the one where there's a video on YouTube of they're trying to the crane is driving up to where the car's gone off, and as the crane is driving up to it, like over the like gravel bed, the next car is sliding just behind him, like into the gravel. Just it was
and
just
it was
such a,
super
like,
close. And what I was
horrible
thinking when I saw the image was like this like little event that could have been like super bad if it was seconds before didn't trigger any kind of safety measures. And then before Suzuka after and Bianchi that died literally for this like exact same incident, but it happened in the timing was different. So I thought it was weird. I didn't remember this like precise like almost collision with the truck, but it's weird. I didn't think like, oh, that was not safe to have a truck when the race was still
it's
on.
very, very bizarre to watch that nowadays and go, why isn't there a red flag? Why aren't they just stopping or like going through?
And there was a
somewhere
lot
else
of
or, like,
cars out, so it was
Yeah.
didn't make
they
any
just-
sense.
And then they kept coming. It was very bizarre to
Yeah,
watch.
it was just like 6 cars like in the same spot. Like, why is the race
Yeah.
still on? It didn't make any sense.
yeah.
But it was fun
Yeah,
because
that's true.
like completely like unknown drivers were like almost in the front, so that was very fun.
Yeah, I
So
guess that
hopefully we get
that's
something
what-
like that. That would be entertaining.
mixed conditions will bring you, or like rain will bring you. It's always interesting, like mentioning that race again, because Formula One, for me, well, recently anyway, in the last couple of years, has always been about safety. They've introduced the halo and things like that, and tethers, and you actually get fairly big penalties if you don't attach the wheel correctly and things like that, and like for unsafe releases.
Unsafe
and
release,
things like that. Yeah, but it wasn't always the case. And like that wasn't even that long ago where it sort of felt like safety is obviously was still a concern, but it wasn't sort of a main concern. It wasn't that.
Even when we are pitting and we are like putting fuel back in the cars, now they don't do that anymore. Also,
yeah, for really good reasons. I think
yeah, there is
there's
some
so many times.
spectacular videos and pictures of
Yeah,
that going very
yeah.
wrong. So
It-
I mean, a lot of
it is-
categories still do. I think Indy still does, like NASCAR
Indy
still
does it,
does.
yeah.
And
And they
even
have
GT
accidents every
probably
now and
still
then.
does too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then with that you have accidents every now and then where you make a mistake and you're putting something highly flammable, obviously highly flammable, highly explosive into a race car that's hot, and
And quite a few times they like lived with the hose like still on, and like just ripped it off like the wall.
I remember a couple of times. I don't know who it was. I feel like it was a Ferrari or a red car. Anyway, like back in my mind. But yeah, just through the pit lane and then down the like end of the straight somewhere with that just whole hose assembly and everything just sort of dangling behind.
dangling behind the car.
Yeah. When they leave the filler cap, the sort of the fuel cap open, that's not too bad. That happened fairly often, but yeah, that's the reason why we don't have that anymore. It's kind of a shame.
I've seen
I feel
people
like.
do it at like petrol station with their daily cars, like just leaving the petrol station and like ripping up
Yeah. I've
or
still
leaving
my
just
fa-
with the cap on the roof and then like the thing open.
Yeah, my
That
favorite
happens.
one is electric cars pulling up to petrol stations and the owner looking very confused and then realizing, oh, I did make the choice to buy an electric car. I need to go somewhere else.
There was also like a very viral video
Quality,
the last few days with a girl that couldn't figure out how to like which little station to go to because I think the hole was on the right side, and she kept pulling on to the wrong side, and she was like she went forward and backwards, then she went to the other one, and then like 6 different times she went back in the car before she understood which one she had to take to fill the car properly.
There you go, right? Like you don't do it every day, but like even like we mess it up, and like the professionals, in Formula One, they mess it up too. So I guess it was a safe choice to take that out.
Fueling cars is very tricky, so let's not do it during the race.
Yeah. Let's not try and like pump, I don't know, 50 liters in like 2 seconds into the car. I thought it was always interesting because it gave it a little bit more.
Yeah, I think
Something,
that the
like-
pit stop are very entertaining now with like how fast they are. I guess that's
Yeah.
the good way now. It's like you just want to see how if they can get the lower and lower. Like what's the limit?
Yeah. Can they beat like 1 second? I don't know. Yeah,
That would be insane.
I think 1.8 is the record. Like I think Red
Yeah.
Bull is holding it right now.
That's quite good. I think it's gonna be tricky to beat that.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I'd say so too. Yeah, but again, like that might be something to look at for the FIA, not to make it more interesting by adding refueling again, but how do you make pit stops?
I
How
think
do
they
you
wanted
change
to
things like
make the tires last not as long because I think they wanted to have like more pit stops or something like that. I think.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
I'm not
because
really
the
sure
pit
about that,
stop
but I
is-
think they were talking to Pirelli to have like some kind of so they couldn't hang on for like just like Lewis does, and then it keeps them alive until like just pits once or. Like,
Yeah.
I think there was one of the things they were trying to do for 2022. I think.
That'd
But
be interesting
I'm
to
not
see
sure.
because
Like, don't quote me on that, but I think there was someone talking about that. So
a lot of drivers I think hate that. Vettel like famously complained about it after he lost. I think it was his right rear or something,
yeah,
and he just was. I think it was like 2 or 3 laps over what Pirelli had said the tire limit was, and it just blew up on him. And he was quite vocal on the radio to his team and to everyone else who was listening.
I think they need to be safe, but maybe you just fall like the performance just should like fall completely, and it should
Yeah.
be like if you lose 10 seconds a lap, then you're gonna definitely want to pit.
Yeah,
So-
it goes from grippy to slippery. Just put
Yeah.
a layer of soap in between. I've got you. I've got you, Formula One.
That's
I've
a
got
good
you.
one to do.
See, solved. Added to the long list of things how Matt and Rob are going to improve Formula One. I think it's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be interesting to see for sure.
But
Yeah.
I guess we talked about all different stuff, but it was just to talk about the Nürburgring Grand Prix, which should be exciting. And
Yes.
hopefully weather will come to play. And it's
Exactly.
always
Very much.
It's always a good time in Germany. Like the last few years has been very entertaining. It
Yeah.
was not a Nürburgring, but it was still entertaining. So
Yeah. I think like the Germans. I don't know. The way I've grown up as a German with Formula One, obviously we had a huge sort of somebody who was like very successful, Michael Schumacher, to watch and like enjoy racing with, and now we've got.
Vettel.
Unless I'm completely wrong, we've only got one, right? Yeah. Who
I
might
was
not
like,
be there
don't,
next
you don't
year.
remember that it's Vettel? I was like,
No. I knew there was Vettel, but I think I watched so many like recaps of old Grand Prix that I was like, is Hulkenberg still there?
No, sadly it's not there anymore.
Unfortunately not. But yeah, hopefully that might spark some more excitement. Even though there's no crowd, it's always I think it's kind of nice to see something like that coming to your country or even
Yeah.
just like the town even that you live in or live by.
And I hope like Vettel can do something good. I think I've seen his latest interview, and I was like, he's such a good guy. Like he's such a cool guy. Like I just want to be his friend. Like he's awesome.
Do you mean the interview with Sky? That Sky
Yeah,
interview you were showing me about? Yeah.
With and then it was just like he's just a cool guy, and I was like, yeah, he just needs to stay
Yeah.
somehow. He's just so cool.
Yeah.
Why Ferrari
But
treated
he
him
was-
like that? It was
He was yeah, that is a huge shame. And yeah, I think, I don't know, like things that are, especially communication is something that Ferrari hasn't done very well for a long time. And then with Binotto, actually got better, I thought. They were more open with the press and more talkative. But then, yeah, they pulled that one on Vettel, which I thought was just, I don't know, pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
But Vettel was pretty open about only wanting to race with the team that would give him the chance to win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to see if he makes compromises or if he is going to go to Racing Point or not.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Going like looking at just the amount of races we've got right now. We've got 13 confirmed.
Yeah.
I know Silverstone. I read somewhere Silverstone was super keen to just have 5 or 10 more races at Silverstone.
I think they were
think it
talking about.
Yeah.
They were talking about. I forgot the name of the track. The other German track. Which one is it? Oh, I forgot. Where were we last year?
Oh,
The German track we were last year. Hockenheim. Hockenheim.
yeah.
Hockenheim. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that was the
Hockenheim
biggest
thing, yeah.
blank I had in my life. Oh my god. Okay. So
I
Hockenheim.
was sorry. Me too. Hockenheim.
So yeah, I think
Yeah.
they were in the talks to have 2, and then now they have 0. So I was like very surprised by that because when Britain was like quite bad with the virus, they were like, oh, if Silverstone can't do it, then it's going to be Hockenheim, and then now they have 0. So I was very surprised by that. But
Yeah, I think obviously it's a huge logistical challenge for anyone to accommodate the size of Formula One and all the teams and all the.
it's
all that
interesting.
kind of
Why
stuff.
not go to Hockenheim though? Which it's a known track for F1. I don't know. It's weird, but
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what are there any tracks that you'd like? I mean, the whole epidemic permitting. Any other tracks you'd like to see in the race calendar? Because they could add like.
I think to
7
be
more
fair,
races.
I would like to see Zandvoort.
Okay.
The track looks so cool. Like with the banks and stuff, it just looks like a very different track. And it's like Netherlands doesn't look like too bad with the virus, and I think it's probably still in the talks. I don't think it's totally cancelled. I know like all the America continent, like north to south, is completely like cancelled for this year. Asia, I don't.
And I've lost.
I don't think that.
Matt is gone. This is the first for us in our podcast. We're doing this podcast over Zoom. Oh,
Okay. is
oh,
it
he's
my-
back.
I'm back.
Hey,
Okay,
yeah, you're
I'm
back.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know if it was my internet or your internet. It was
I
just.
think
was
it was
just
mine.
telling,
It was mine. I think. Yeah.
telling the audience that obviously we're doing this through Zoom, and this is the first time for us, for me in general on Zoom, that it has sort of messed up on first time on the podcast. It's going to be
Yeah.
interesting to edit that back together. We'll see what we do. Anyway, you were saying about the Grand Prix in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was thinking like, it's still doable. I would say. I think they are not that bad virus-wise, and we
Yeah.
lost the whole of America, and I don't think Asia is an option. So I'd say we have
Yeah.
to stay in Europe. So I would say it's a new track. We never been there, and then it looks just very cool. I think, France. I don't think there is any, I don't think there's any tracks that would be that cool in France to go to. So. I'll probably say like
Do you're not like the new one, the
Le Castellet.
what is it?
No, it's
Yeah.
cool. No, it's fine. Let's just not go to France to that. I think you can stay like Netherlands would be cool just because it looks like a cool track.
I think Netherlands would be awesome to go to, especially they're absolutely crazy because of Max Verstappen
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Well, there won't be any fans. That would be sad because it would
Of
have been a
course, of course,
crazy
of
race
course.
otherwise. It
Yeah,
would have been
yeah,
a
yeah.
crazy race.
Just color wise, it would have been like crazy to see everything in orange.
Oh yeah. And the cheer would have been insane. I remember last year, even in Silverstone, the cheer was like insane already. So
That was really cool to rewatch. The highlights on was just how excited the crowd got when Hamilton got past Bottas, and then how upset they were when it changed, and then it changed again, and
But yeah, I think that's probably the
Something
only
like
track.
that.
I think Portugal should be interesting. I've seen a video of GP2 back in the day. We were racing there, and then like I've seen someone on Twitter say like Carlos Sainz or Norris said like going up and down, left and right like a roller coaster, and it's so true. Like, because like the video after like the straight line, it goes down like you see the elevation change is insane, and it always goes up and down, and like there's a very quick like downhill. It looks like super cool. So hopefully it's
that's
should
another
be
one
an
I'm looking forward to. I think Portugal should be super interesting.
And
to
Imola
watch.
should be back to a classic. So
Yeah, it's a shame we don't have Monaco. I think that's like one that I'm missing. That I'd
that would
absolutely
have been like
love
the little
to see.
cherry on the cake, I would say.
Oh yes, it's my favorite. I think it's because of how unforgiving it is if you do make a mistake because there's nowhere to go.
It's a classic. It's
really-
like the classic of the classic. It's like F1,
Yeah,
Monaco.
absolutely classic. Yeah, hopefully they're still at it. I think they were talking about going to Asia if they can at the end of the year, like they usually do.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think Middle East. Yeah. Also, I forgot about the Middle East. So
Sorry, yeah, the Middle East, not Asia. That's what I was trying to
it's
say.
probably gonna be
yeah.
Abu Dhabi, maybe Bahrain.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, we shall. I don't think Azerbaijan. I don't think Baku is an option. So
Yeah, but for like considering we didn't have any F1, you know, when it all kicked off, having 15 races sort of confirmed, it's great.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward.
We have 13.
Well, 13
it's like
confirmed.
13
Yeah.
very exciting races. So like it's
Exactly,
it's turning out to be a great year, like calendar-wise
Yeah.
at least. Championship-wise, like we'll see. I think Silverstone will be defining in terms of like,
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
it be close or completely like just a Mercedes?
How many
you know-
how many times can Hamilton lap the Ferrari team? Hey, you know, you got to get you excited from somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
So
but
I
yeah,
think
I am
it's going to be defining. I
looking
think
forward
just to know like, is it going to be a close championship at all with another team, or it's just going to be Mercedes between Hamilton and Bottas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hamilton could definitely make a big impact if he takes both wins. That would be if he takes both poles and both wins, that would be, and both fastest laps, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think obviously that's what he's aiming for. I think
It wouldn't be great for, I guess, the fans and whatever. There would be a lot of complaints, but if the midfield is, I think the midfield is so great this year that I think if they're battling like that, it's kind of okay to let Mercedes win everything, as long as we have some great battles and the personalities we have,
And there will
like
be,
driver-wise,
for sure.
they're so cool. So I think it's awesome to have a cool midfield like that. So
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the British Grand Prix soon.
I think the most exciting is going to be September's going onwards. That's there is Sochi in the middle, which is it's an okay track.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it should be like a cool like second half of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
And Italia is getting getting a lot of F1 this year. They are like
Yeah. 3 races. That's great. Yeah, I don't know if they deserve it, but they do. They do. They've got great tracks. and it's
I was
like a
thinking
great-
the UK is like F1 is British. It's a British sport, I guess. So I was wondering why they didn't go like to
originally,
another track in the United Kingdom. Like I don't know, there's other tracks. Like there's quite a few tracks, so maybe going back there, but who knows?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, there's like Silverstone has always been sort of the biggest one, I think, for F1
for
in
sure,
Britain.
yeah.
So yeah.
They could do the Isle of Man, F1 style.
The what's the peak one? There's a peak race.
Pikes Peak, yeah.
Yeah, Pikes Peak. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. F1 style. They do that. Like they have sent F1 cars up there.
It's
to
just
like
a
the
bit
mountain
very
championship.
high, like I think they're not made
Yes.
to go. In Mexico, it's already tough for them, so if you go higher, it's gonna be.
That's absolutely crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, it should be an exciting year, man. I think
Absolutely.
I can't wait to know what the other tracks are gonna be. I hope there's still one new track. Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to the Middle East for financial reasons and whatever. But if they can have at least one new track, whether it be Zandvoort or something else, I would say
else.
like anything exciting would be just
Yeah.
perfect. But like, what would be a perfect last 3 races or 2 races if they had to have 15?
Oh, if we added more,
Like let's say like we have a 15 races season. What would be like your next 2 that would be like perfect for you? Like your top 2?
well, like I said earlier, I think I got to say Monaco. I just really want to see Monaco again. But then, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Like, obviously, the whole pandemic makes things really hard, to go places. But Brazil was always, I think, like a good track. Same with, I don't know. I don't think you'd like it, but I think I'm a huge fan of Canada and the Canadian Grand Prix as well.
Canadian, I like it. I think every track in America, I think I like them. They're all pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, the US wasn't. Yeah, that's okay. And Mexico, but like, Monaco for sure. Just do Monaco twice. worth it.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say
Is it
like
a-
Zandvoort and Monaco would be.
Is that
Awesome.
Monaco? Yeah,
that
that's
would be
true.
the two extras, and that's it. That would be great.
Yeah.
Like finish the season in Monaco. How cool would that be?
That would be insane. Yeah,
Like
that would be
fireworks
really
and
cool.
all this stuff. You do like a night race in Monaco. Man,
We got it. We figured it out.
that would
Again.
be awesome.
Formula
Like
One, the FIA.
sunset tonight, like fireworks.
Send us
yachts,
the check in the mail.
Everything.
We'll send you our address. Call us. We got you covered.
Just send us a check. Also, we could just invite us to do the podcast live from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but I think, yeah, again, like that's another thing that they could do totally is change the timings around the Grand Prix and see if they
Yeah.
can, do something like that. And it's always around the same time for it's better for the drivers and the teams, I guess. But like from most people watch it at home, especially now, everyone watches at home.
Yeah.
So for the fans and everyone watching, a nighttime race in somewhere like Monaco would be
That would be
spectacular.
exciting. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
you're
would be
restricted
absolutely
because tracks don't have lightings. Maybe all the tracks can't do it, but I think Monaco is definitely one that you could definitely do it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
So
and
that
I'm
would be
sure they'd be
amazing.
happy to put lights up.
Oh yeah.
I think
yeah.
the amount of publicity that would produce and everything like that.
That would be just amazing. If that could happen, that would be like the best end of the season. Like it would be one of the best seasons probably ever. At
Yeah.
least like
Well,
calendar-wise.
here's hoping, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be. I mean, yeah. Just let's hope if Charles Leclerc could win there at the end of the season at night, that would be just.
sorry, you were cutting out. You were saying Vettel is winning at the end of the. What were you saying? What? I didn't quite-
just the race.
quite-
Vettel could surprisingly win the championship
Okay, right. Okay,
and just
That-
retire with the trophy and just go away.
he is dreaming.
Who knows?
Matt and Rob dream about F1. Different kind of podcast. Maybe we'll do one of those at some point. But I think for today we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
This was our sort of quick recap of what's happened and like looking ahead at the next 10 confirmed races. And I'm super excited.
Oh yeah.
And also super excited because the next race is soon.
Yeah.
in
It's
a
race.
couple of
It's
days
race
only.
week right now, so that's amazing.
Yeah,
Like in
I
a few
can-
days
I
we
can-
have free practice. That's it.
I can shave again. I can shower again. I can
You
get
can
back
start
to living
eating
my
again.
life.
You can start your
Yeah.
life again. That's
I've got to be so excited. Next podcast, I'll be in a normal shirt again, not just this. And yeah, great. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
yes. And we shall be back next week for the review
Exactly.
of the British Grand Prix, as
British
it's
Grand Prix.
named.
Exactly. So thank you all for watching and for listening.
And for yeah, sure.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.